starts right now.
It is a club that no one wants to join. Loved ones of murder victims remembering and leaning on each other tonight. But first, we begin with the weather. The storms that popped up in our area. Meteorologist Adam Caskey standing by with the latest. Adam, storms are out there, just maybe not where all of us would like them to be right now.
You're right. And especially after last night when many folks in San Antonio could see the lightning, hear the thunder, then didn't get any rain. But right now, the sweet spot is southeast of San Antonio, especially Wilson County, Karnes County getting clipped by these showers and thunderstorms. Heavy rainfall within these stretching up into DeWitt County as well, especially Poth, Falls City area, just south of 181 there, stretching east toward Runge and then down toward Goliad. And this is all pushing to the southeast at about 15 miles per hour. So it's moving along and changing its shape and structure very quickly and efficiently here. But right now, nothing severe. This is just some good soaking heavy rainfall, a little bit on the backside developing just west of Gonzales. And this is highly isolated. I don't expect really anything else to continue popping up on the backside of this. In turn, our window of opportunity here in San Antonio is closing rather quickly in terms of rainfall. Now, we did get the rain in parts of town tonight, and you can see where we did, the blues and greens. And the greens indicated inch or more of rainfall estimated by the radar. Calaveras Lake, Elmendorf area, around an inch. Then you get into downtown, and we had about a quarter to a half an inch in some parts of downtown, all the way down through the south side. We had some beautiful photos as well across our area. Here's one example near Calaveras Lake. I'll be back with more of these photos, and if you missed out on the rainfall today, another shot tomorrow. Timing that out for you.
That's a great picture right there. Thank you, Adam. The search for an interim school board trustee continuing in the Northeast School District. Tonight, board members voted to hold 4 more interviews for its open District 2 seat. The previous trustee, Terry Williams, died in August. Williams served as the board's vice president. She would have been up for re-election in 2026. District 2 is represented on the NEISD map in yellow. It consists of NEISD's southeastern region, just east of I-35 and Austin Highway from Tupperwine all the way down to Fort Sam Houston. Trustees began interviewing 8 candidates earlier this month. It's not clear when the board could make a final decision. Whomever is appointed will serve as the interim District 2 trustee until the May election. Absolute chaos to start the week at a local high school. An apparent hoax prompting a lockdown, heavy officer presence, and parent panic. This was the scene at East Central High School today. Should I say outside East Central High School. The district police department received a call shortly before classes started naming a particular student. In the background of that call, you could hear gunshots, apparently. Officers from several agencies searched the campus. They found nothing. Still, the concern from parents and students was very real.
We're just scared as parents.
Given everything that's happened, it was kind of scary.
At first I thought it was a joke, and then my sister texted me that it was like an actual thing, and I was like, all right, we gotta be quiet and be serious.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office later said it seems the call came from outside the United States, and it was meant to cause a panic. As you can see, it did. The student who was named in that call was detained but was released when BCSO realized he was a victim of what's called swatting. It's when a prank call activates law enforcement to a fake crime scene. The Sheriff's Office says making a hoax call like this could get someone charged with making a felony terroristic threat. United by tragedy. The families of people killed in our community honoring their loved ones tonight. It's what's known as the National Day of Remembrance for murder victims. The Night Team's Patty Santos takes us inside University Methodist Church for a candlelight prayer.
These families share the same tragedy. Their lives were crushed by a senseless murder.
There's not a day goes by I don't think about him.
Janie Edwards' only son, Isaac Roscoe, was only 20 years old when he was shot and killed in the summer of 2016. Also here were the parents of 20-year-old Megan Gonzalez. Her remains were found in 2019. 26-year-old Vanessa Martinez was killed in a suspected road rage shooting in May. Different stories, but the same profound trauma only a parent can understand.
There's never a day that we don't think of him or wish that.
That's why these families unite every year to pray and comfort one another.
Just give each other strength to to get through another day, because nobody wants to be a part of this club.
Since the start of the year, SAPD says it's been called to investigate 125 murder cases. That's more families that will join the table. Those who've walked in their shoes offer advice.
You have to take it 1 minute at a time. There's no other way. Then one day you take it 1 hour. Then one day.
San Antonio police officers and Bexar County Sheriff deputies were also here, some to encourage families to continue to be a voice for their loved ones' unsolved murders.
I want them, the takeaway is that they're not alone.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Not alone indeed. Your hearts go out to those families. To other news tonight, a man in jail after a scary scene at a downtown restaurant bar that was hosting a rap concert. Police say this man fired several shots into the air at Smoke Barbecue on East Crockett Street. No one hurt, but officers arrested James Alvarado after that incident on Sunday around 2:30 in the morning. Restaurant security stopped Alvarado, held him until police arrived. He's charged with unlawfully carrying a weapon and for being a felon in possession of a firearm. Court records show he's actually on probation for a weapons charge from last year. His bond currently is at $25,000. A veteran San Antonio police officer in hot water tonight after a weekend crash that may have been the result of drinking and driving. SAPD says Eric Duffin, off duty at the time of his arrest on Saturday. Officers say he crashed his car on Evans Road, showed signs of intoxication. He was arrested on suspicion of DWI and was immediately suspended without pay.
To see all the migrants asking for money, asking for food. I don't know that this situation is going to get better anytime soon.
The crisis at the border reaching a breaking point in some cities. Now Mexico is promising to help ease the migration situation into the U.S. As part of an agreement with U.S. immigration, Mexico has agreed to deport certain migrants from its border cities and return them to their home countries. Right now, it's not clear when those deportations will begin or how long they'll last. The move comes as the border city of El Paso seeing large numbers of people living on the streets because there are simply not enough shelters. City officials there are working on getting more space and resources to handle the influx of migrants. 4 whistleblowers who were fired by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton say their legal battle is not over yet. Those former top deputies dismissed after making reports to the FBI about alleged actions taken by Ken Paxton for the benefit of an Austin area real estate developer. Paxton acquitted earlier this month in a Texas Senate impeachment trial. That was not a criminal trial. Blake Brickman, who served as Deputy Attorney General for Policy and Strategy under Paxton, shared harsh words for the Attorney General and defense attorney Tony Busby. Brickman also saying today the battle ahead is about truth and justice.
The idea that Tony Busby or Ken Paxton think that the top 8 people in his agency going and sitting around a round table at the FBI and telling them their first-person accounts is not evidence is proof of how absurd Paxton's point was in this whole trial. And what he did to my colleagues was shameful, and Tony Busby should be ashamed of himself. He's a disgrace.
In response, lawyers at the Attorney General's office asking the Texas Supreme Court to actually hold that case in abatement for the next 2 years. If you missed your chance to speak with the leaders of Bexar County and Bexar County's top leader about the issues that you care most about, don't worry. You have another shot tomorrow. Judge Peter Sakai inviting the community to attend the second of his 4 community conversations at the Will W. Jackson Community Hall in the city's northeast side. That meeting is set to start at 5:30. You can find the dates for the remaining meetings on our website, KSAT.com. Let's go to the Nightbeat News Flash right now. The racist El Paso Walmart shooter Patrick Cruzius will pay $5.5 million in restitution to the families of the 23 people he killed back in 2019. Cruzius, pleading guilty to 90 federal charges earlier this year, was sentenced to 90 consecutive life sentences. That shooting, one of the deadliest attacks on Latinos in U.S. history. Cruzius still facing state charges in that attack, and prosecutors there are seeking the death penalty. A third person has been arrested in connection with a 1-year-old boy's death at a New York City daycare. Rennie Paredes is actually accused of selling fentanyl. The 2 other suspects charged in this case, That 1-year-old boy who died was exposed to fentanyl at that daycare earlier this month. 3 other toddlers also exposed. They were saved by Narcan at a nearby hospital. And the possibility of a government shutdown looking more and more likely tonight. The holdup is coming from a group of hardline GOPers that are standing put on issues like border security and whether or not to support Ukraine. Despite the logjam, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says the House could vote on a short-term continuing resolution to keep the government open, but he hasn't specified when that could happen. If there's no deal in place by 11 p.m. Friday night, the government shuts down. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash. Once again, you can now order free COVID-19 tests from the federal government. The program suspended back in May. Well, it's back on now. U.S. COVID hospitalizations have been on the rise since July. Now you can get 4 tests by placing an order at covidtests.gov. Some of the dates on those tests may show that they are expired, but the FDA has actually extended those dates. They should be good through the end of the year. United Way in Bexar County still teaming up to cool people down with free box fans. Project Cool has provided seniors and people with disabilities fans for months now, but there's not much time left if you still need one. You have until September 30th, that's 5 days from now, to get that free fan. Just call the United Way's help hotline at 211 to schedule that delivery directly to your home. You don't have to go pick it up. The price of car repair is being driven up. What a San Antonio body shop CEO says is contributing to the high costs at the body shop. Plus, playing the waiting game. The Hollywood writer strike almost over, it seems. What's standing in the way between those writers and getting back to work? Next on the Nightbeat. Well, if you've had to shell out more money than usual for a recent car repair, you're not alone. Prices at the body shop soaring due to things like supply chain issues, inflation, and a lack of technicians. Manuel Rubio is the CEO of Miracle Body and Paint here in town. He says those factors have driven up the price of parts 15%, and the United Auto Workers strike not helping either.
If we don't resolve this by the end of October, we are going to have some serious issues concerning parts.
Rubio says for now, he just hopes customers remain patient and understand the hurdles that he and other businesses are having to overcome to get vehicles back on the road. And as for the United Auto Workers strike, some members say they're not even close to getting back to work today, the 10th day of that strike, after a weekend where the union expanded its walkout against General Motors and Stellantis. Ford has been spared additional walkouts for now after giving in to some UAW requests last week. To Detroit, where President Joe Biden will join picketers tomorrow, and former President Donald Trump will give a speech to some 500 United Auto Workers on Wednesday instead of participating in the second Republican debate. To Hollywood, screenwriters are waiting to learn the terms of a deal with major studios that will officially end a strike of their own. A tentative deal between the Screenwriters Guild of America and Hollywood studios reached late last night. The 5-month strike will officially end once the Guild's board votes on that contract tomorrow. Meanwhile, the Hollywood actors strike continues, but this new deal between writers and studios could provide momentum for actors to reach a deal soon. The 9th largest lottery jackpot ever is on the line tonight. Now, these are your winning numbers for the $785 million Powerball prize. Tonight's payout has been building for more than 2 months now. The winners almost always choose the cash payout option, and in this case, that would come out to $367 million. If you got a ticket in your hand, good luck. Take a live cam out there. Not a lot of activity in our area. There's rain out there, but not for everyone. Adam.
Not for everyone, but we know that's often the case here in South Central Texas. Earlier this morning and late last night, it was particularly up in the hill country, where we'll look at some of the rainfall accumulations in a moment. And now it's closer to the Gulf Coast. Let's get right to authority radar, and you'll see that activity really flaring up. Karnes County points southeastward all the way to Goliad, Live Oak County as well. And now Atascosa County along an outflow boundary, seeing a little bit of development just south of Pleasanton, Jourdanton area there along 281 and I-37. One downpour right along I-37. This activity, I don't anticipate it to last more than a few more hours as it treks southward toward the coast. So it's pretty lit up just west of Karnes City and even around Goliad. Very heavy rainfall, good soaking, much needed rain for those areas. And we still have this one little downpour, this little straggler just west of Gonzales. That's headed down toward Nixon Smiley area. And should that survive, it'd make it there by 11:10 p.m. I think even a little before that, it would make it there probably closer to 11 p.m. But we also had the rain last night. So looking at the rainfall totals across our area just over the past 24 hours, I mean, you see the real sweet spots up in the hill country. The red is indicative of radar estimates of 4 to 5 inches of rainfall. Here's another way to look at the recent rainfall. And I put the numbers up here, and it, of course, is very hit or miss, the haves and have-nots, but parts of the hill country, 4 or 5 inches of rain estimated by Doppler radar. So that was nice to see, especially because of the extreme and exceptional drought, not just for the hill country, but even San Antonio and the coastal plain too. We really need the rain there. You look at the radar since yesterday evening when the showers and storms first developed, and it's good to see the rain on top of the extreme and exceptional drought areas of South and Central Texas. Is it enough? No, of course not, but we'll take all that we can get. And every little drop helps. And today, those drops were coming down at a pretty good rate with some good downpours. Here's one reason why. Upper level high moved westward again over the Baja Peninsula, far west of us. That opened the door for a very weak front to move in. A weak cold front stalled out, but that wind shift line with it is just enough to help kickstart some of these showers and storms. And tomorrow's another opportunity. Once we get into the afternoon, some isolated to very widely separated showers and thunderstorms developing. We think the severe potential is a lot lower tomorrow than it was today. It's mainly going to be garden variety activity between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. 20 to 30% chance. That's about it. Quick look at the almanac. 98 our high temperature today, 10 degrees above average. 105 though, that's the record. Cotulla made it to 104, Del Rio 105 across the state. Some lower 90s and upper 80s to the north as a result of that very weak boundary draped across our area. Tomorrow morning, 73 in the morning. By noon, we're at 86 and then 93 for the high temperature and an east-northeasterly breeze at 5 to 10. You're not going to notice the wind much the next couple of days with that weak boundary in place. Low 90s for most of us tomorrow. Temperatures really are not going to be changing much the next several days. Don't anticipate a change in temperatures. Low 70s in the mornings and then low to mid 90s in the afternoons. A few other quick photos for you of the light show and some downpours on display in our area this evening.
I'm jealous.
Yes, especially that one there, Calaveras. Like, look at that puddle.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what a puddle looks like.
I almost forgot.
Yeah. Thanks, Adam. All right. So win Friday, and you've got the inside track on a district championship.
Yes. So Blanco is going to face Randolph, key district matchup. The winner could take over first place all alone, depending on the outcome of a couple other contests. This is a 13-3A1 showdown, and it is our big game this week. Plus, it is fight week for San Antonio's Mario Barrios coming up. The big game and our big game coverage this week will feature the Randolph Rohawks hosting the Blanco Panthers in a key District 13 through AD1 matchup. Now we start with Rohawks, who are 5-0 overall this season and 1-0 in district. So far, the Rohawks have beaten Schulenburg, San Antonio Christian, YMLA, Kennedy, and then Marion last Friday night to open district play. They were picked to finish 4th in district by Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and here they are facing the Panthers with first place in district on the line.
Yeah, it's a really big game. I think they're one of the best teams in the district, so this might be one of the deciding factors for who wins that district championship, playoff seeding and all that.
Yes, sir, definitely. In my eyes, I see this as the district championship game. If whoever wins this out right here is going to take it home.
Yeah, our goal was to win a championship, a district championship, by district championship, and Blanco. In order to do that, we got to win these district games, these really tough district games like Blanco.
It is time to head to Blanco, where it was a beautiful and cloudy afternoon in the Hill Country today. Led by head coach Jamie Dixon, the Panthers are having a great season at 4-1 overall and 1-0 in District 13 through A1. The Panthers have defeated Poth, Comfort, Burning Geneva, and then Luling last week to start district. Antonian is their only blemish so far. The Blanco Panthers were tabbed to finish second in district behind Llano, and the Panthers know this game will go a long way in determining the district title.
Yes, sir, it's a very big game. I think this and Llano will be our games that predict the district winners, so I think it'll be a very important game.
Yes, sir, huge game. Them being 5-0, 1-0 in district like us, it'd be huge to come out with a win.
Oh yeah, it's a big game. It is. It's a very big game. They're undefeated right now. We're 4-1. It's a big game because it helps with seeding in the playoffs if you're the district champion or if you're in second, on sides of brackets and stuff. So it's a big game.
It is our game of the week. Blanco at Randolph Friday night at 7. One of 14 games we're scheduled to get for you Friday night.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Check it out. Baseball Hall of Famer Ken Griffey Jr. was working the Cowboys-Cardinals game as a still photographer, so he had a great seat for the Cardinals' upset win 28-16. The Cowboys often talk about playing complementary football in regards to offense and defense helping each other out, but that was not the case in Arizona, where the boys suffered their first loss of the season. Dallas had 416 yards total offense, but their defense allowed 400 yards. Dallas was 1 for 5 in the red zone. Arizona 2 for 2. Linebacker Micah Parsons has taken the blame and had this to say, which fired up ESPN analyst Rex Ryan.
The reality is we got to take in every game as like the Super Bowl, and we got to play up to our standard. We can't play down to teams, and I felt like that's what we did today.
I mean, you just got pummeled by that team. I mean, they whipped your tail end all over the field right there, and you're going to show lack of respect? And to me, that was total disrespect. How you do that to a team in the NFL? Just admit, they out-physicaled you. They were the better team that day. And move on. I don't know, Micah Parsons, I love you as a player, but that was a punk move.
Moving on, the Houston Texans were celebrating because they beat the Jags Sunday 37-17 for their first win of the season. It's the first pro dub for rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud and for rookie head coach DeMeco Ryans.
Really proud of our guys and with the effort that they play with, the mindset, the physical mindset that our team played with. Went down to Jacksonville versus a very tough team, right? Tough opponent, and the way our guys stepped up and played, I'm very proud of that effort and that mindset. So that's a winning. That's winning football. That's what we played on Sunday, and that's what we want to see moving forward.
Mario Barrios is ready to fight after the break. Welcome back. It is officially fight week in Las Vegas for Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo. On the undercard will be San Antonio's Mario Barrios, who is fighting Yordenis Ugas on Saturday at the T-Mobile Arena for the WBC Interim World Welterweight title belt. This will be El Azteca's first fight on a Canelo lineup.
Just being on this card, I truly believe it's one of the biggest fight cards, for boxing in the year. You have from the opening fight, to me and Ugas, and then, to the co-main, and then Canelo Charlo, all 4 fights, on this pay-per-view card are huge fights. And, being a part of it is truly a privilege. And like I said, I'm going to go out there and do whatever it takes, to take that title back to San Antonio.
The pay-per-view fight will cost $85. You can read more from sports producer Daniel Villanueva's interview with Mario on the instant replay page of KSAT.com.
That's big time.
It is big time for sure.
Being on the undercard for Canelo.
How cool is that?
Take it. Yeah. Thanks, Larry. We'll be right back.